Yo, what's up guys? This is going to be a tour of my Satisfactory base and all the progress I've made so far. As you can see, I'm only on phase 2. I'm getting there with all the stuff. Like, I have probably 1,000 smart plates. Versatile framework is just started. I just started doing that. And then the automatic wiring, probably have like 200 or 300 of it by now. Not a lot, but just something. I've spent so much time just refining things, expanding my base, unlocking things, doing research and all that. So, starting out right here, this is my first time using the Dimensional Depot loader. Yeah, I definitely plan on putting more in this, but for now, this is just my solution so I can make easy concrete to access anywhere, just make quick bases if I need to. The amount of times I run out of concrete on my person while I'm just running around. Also, I do know that power slug's there. Let's just go do that real quick. I've been looking at it for a long time and I've just been too lazy to get it, but since I'm up there and finally built that, let's do it. Okay, so all of this is still going to be a work in progress. Up here I pretty much have like a mini steel factory just producing stuff. I started running out of iron plates in my other bases, so I just made this just specifically for these iron plates here. Right here I'm making some reinforced iron plates. But let's start even before that. Let's start at the miner. That might be the easiest way to get to everything. So yeah, as you can see, I got a Mark II miner down. I got it spewing out stuff into this smelter here. From there, these smelters join here. I got some of them going up and over as well, because I have another machine making something down there. Can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, you know, a few smelters can join onto this one. Got this making some iron ingots. And turning these into screws, since I have the cast screw recipe. Thing's been big for sure. I just wish I would have used it a lot earlier. What was I making here? Some more iron plates. And you can see I kind of feed these ones up and over, up and over, up and over into this thing here, which is making more reinforced iron plates. That is work in progress Mark II. I just haven't fucked with it yet, but I'm gonna try to expand my steel production a lot, and I'm saving that node for this. And I have another one I'm going to be using to make a bunch of rotors, hopefully soon, whenever I feel like it. So yeah, right here, the reinforced iron plates from here go way down this line. And then over here, I'm making some more iron rods to spew into my modular frame processor down here. As you can see, it's pretty much completely backed up with iron rods. And both of these, my main bottleneck seems to be the reinforced iron plates. Of course, you know, it makes sense for that to be it. It's not, this thing's pretty much on 24/7, I think. Yeah, you can see it's 5 out of 3. There, yeah, a little overlap there. This one has 6 out of 3, so that one just instantly starts again. I have them both overclocked. And then up there, I'm also making more modular frames. So they're spewing through this and then going way down into here. And as you can see, I think I'm actually starting to get backed up on these. Yep, sure am. Yeah. This thing is completely full, which is okay because over here, right next to my elevator, I have this conveyor lift going all the way down. Just parachute there. Okay, so it goes all the way down, right? I have some stuff underneath the floor here. I've tried to do it by floor to keep it organized and space efficient and all that. And it's going into this thing right now. So as you can see, this one's at full capacity with steel beams and modular frame. Well, is that full? Yeah, it's full. Okay, so I'm making 5 per minute for now. I'm going to overclock it soon. I'm not too worried about it. I'm just playing the game at my own pace. You know, not a lot of framework, but eventually I'm going to start a second one right here. I was just too lazy to do the wiring. And over here I have a mess of conveyor lifts and floating shit, no structural integrity. Just kind of letting it do its thing, you know. Over here is making some encased industrial beams. I have a concrete flow coming from that way. And then tons of steel beams being produced over here after some overclocks and much needed merging of iron resources. This is all steel pipes. I have them absolutely fucking overflowing. I'm going to divert these soon and I think make more modular frames because I believe I have a recipe for them. Let me see. Steel pipe for, what is it? I can make molded steel pipes. Oh yeah, encased industrial pipes is something else I can make. I can also do the steel rotor or the stator. So with how many extra resources I have here, hopefully I can find a way to wire this all through and start producing some stuff. And then yeah, over here just have my line of constructors and foundries making the steel to produce all of this. You know, I have 2 lines of it. So it's just all going straight through there. You know, one side is more steel pipes, this side's more industrial beams, and then somewhere in the middle they both somewhat meet up here by the storage containers. So up here actually I kind of have a mess of shit going on because I didn't really think this through before I started constructing this thing. So I have a smart splitter. So as you can see, since these share a storage container, I configured the smart splitter for the left output to feed back into the storage container whenever that stuff comes through to keep the productivity of this up. However, I don't know if this actually... Hopefully this is working as intended. I'm actually a little worried. Hold on. I think it is jammed again. I'm going to make a note to myself to come back and fix that later after this tour. So we will start fix smart splitter for... Oh, crap. Hold up. Fix smart splitter for I-beams and encased. I'll remember what it is. It's just a note for me. Good enough. Alright. Anyways, let's get back to it. So yeah, my storage container full of stators here. They're being produced in this thing. Eventually this is going to be making motors also, I think, and then some other things with stators once I look into it more. I have this feeding the wires from over here, the copper wires to this assembler. Over here I have the automated wiring going on. As you can see, I have a relatively full first container. One reason is the small one is because at the moment I was too lazy to go get the beams for the bigger container. But yeah, so anyways, going down, this is making some cables. Obviously these are ingots being turned into the wire to make into cables. This is just pure wire just to feed into over there. You know, I got my smelters going on, the miner right there. This might get a rework in the future when I feel like it. I got a mess and tangle of wires. Got the Hellcat over here, the other Hellcat. I got my main little operation base. As you can see, I got the hyper tube going out. Got a ladder leading to the roof. We'll go inside, do a little tour here real quick. So, yeah, as you can see, I got all my basic facilities. I can make stuff in here, do some research. Got the shop right outside. I got this, which pretty much leads all across the map, across my multiple bases. This leads back to my charcoal power generation plant, at least one of them. So let's go through and check it out. And yeah, I got the space elevator in the water. Not a very elegant look, but honestly I think it looks kind of cool. Okay, so yeah, over here I have a basic setup, some charcoal generators. As you can see, I got 4 water pumps. They're not super well organized and the wires are a bit of a mess, as well as the tubes and all that. But yeah, I mean, they're getting me by. We're producing how much power? I could probably start overclocking them again too. I'm just worried about the water. I had some issues where my power kept shutting off because of it. Because I overclocked them too much and they were just flying through the water supply. It looks like the water is good in the buffers still, so don't worry about it too much. Yeah, and all that just leads back to the steel / concrete I was making up there. I showed you guys at the beginning. Alright. I got some power backup supplies. I'm going to rapidly generate this, because honestly I don't know if I configured it right. Like, it does say they're storing power, but I'm not sure. my max consumption is certainly going over what my actual consumption is. Or, my actual consumption is much lower than my max consumption and my capacity, so I will have to figure that out eventually. But the thing is, all my machines aren't working overtime, especially in my previous bases, because I have all of this power interconnected pretty much across the map in multiple points. So all my power is connected. All my multiple power plants are connected. Alright, so going on. Yeah, I just got the shop here. I just have it just for the sake of getting the coupons. I just have this making some concrete when I need it. Nothing too crazy. You can see I got all the charcoal here. Got wires everywhere. Let's go back up to my hyper tubes, and we'll go to the next bases. So I think from here, maybe, you know, we'll go this way. We're going to go to my next steel production area. I got concrete going from across there. That's the only thing I didn't really show you guys in depth. Actually, you know, this is closer, so we're gonna go to my other power plant. I just started yesterday, so still a work in progress, but I just needed more power and wanted to redo it a little. So let's go there. I know, very long transition here, but honestly, sometimes it is easier just to fly across the map than use like the hyper tubes or anything. I just feel like the hyper tubes are good when they go downhill, but they are kind of slow at points. But I mean, if you don't have stuff set up here already, like you can see I got some Fortnite stairs going on that way. Well, many Fortnite stairs, because there's another base I don't have connected to anything over there at all. Because it was another attempt, because I needed copper from across the map, so I started drawing from that in my first attempt of a base, which you guys haven't even seen yet, which we'll be seeing shortly after this. This will just be a little review. As you can see, I have another similar setup to my previous charcoal base. I got it all loaded down here. The wires do clip a little. I'm sorry, the pipes clip a little. Yeah, I mean, these are getting the job done. I got enough water for all of them. As far as I know, they don't really go out. I haven't checked on them, really. Yeah, so some more power here. I had this pipeline pump because I was having some issues with the headlift, I think. But as far as I'm concerned, it looks like water's flowing and everything, so yeah. And then right over here, I have some SAM just spewing into this container. It's probably overflowing by now. I haven't really checked it in quite a while. Yeah, I see no movement. Maybe while I'm here, we'll just industrial storage. See if I can just build it right up top here real quick. Like that. Boom. Let's go ahead and connect it. And just do Mark II because I'm not too concerned about it. I don't need it to move fast necessarily. Okay, well that will continue to spew. Now let's go back a little here. No. Yeah, let's use the hyper tube actually. I think it'll be easier. And we gotta go the fun downhill way here. Look how much faster that is than the way up. It's like a roller coaster ride. Kind of just going up. Up and up. We need to go that way. No hyper tube. I don't know if I really necessarily built these right, but you know, what can we do? Oh, there's a lot we can do, but do I feel like doing it? No. Maybe eventually. I'm so glad I have this now, though, because before, like, it's just bunny hopping across the map, basically. Which, like I said, can be faster sometimes, for sure, but I don't know. I think oh yeah, I gotta turn back to get in the way out. This over here is mostly just where I make smart plates, rotors. I think I was making some modular frames here. I can't really remember. As you can see, you got some iron going on, just going every which way. Got them spewing into here, and then from here, got some smelters. This is my first attempt at making like a more organized base. I think it's somewhat good, but I do see areas I can improve, for sure. But a lot of this would require rework, or just building it maybe vertically a little more, and, you know, putting some of these through the feed as well. I don't know, maybe I can't connect it that way, but might be able to change it eventually. But yeah, just kind of got these in a row here. See, these are making screws from iron rods. I probably should change this because I now have that alternate recipe, but that'll be for a different day. And yeah, I just got them over here making reinforced iron plates. Just about completely full. Looks like maybe I'll just take some of them with me, actually. I don't feel like building a container. Just take like 200 of them. This one here is just making some extra modular frames, just for the love of the game. Over here, what am I making? Iron plates, probably more reinforced. Yeah, more reinforced iron plates. Got them feeding into this here. Looks like this one's not producing a whole lot, but I don't necessarily need them. But why is it just not? No, it's working. Okay. Some smart plating. This is actually a second spot I have for smart plating. First is my first base that we're gonna be seeing soon. Got some rotors, which I'm actually gonna take the time to just do it on this one because, yeah, I see rotors being a lot more valuable in the future here, so we're gonna want to keep producing these for sure. If I can just have an infinite supply of them eventually. But yeah, that's the basics of this base here. Nearby, it's nothing crazy, but I have a Caterium node I have just running across the map to my first base, rather than this one for some reason, which is a lot closer. Should probably rework that sometime soon, but this whole area is probably going to be expanded a ton eventually, especially, I think these are all just normal nodes. Yeah, so I don't even know if I've upgraded, I've upgraded that one, and that one. Okay, that one needs to be a Mark II, but I actually just, let's just do that real quick while we're here. Do a little upgrade. Miner Mark II. Probably just gonna have to, yeah, let's do that. Probably don't even need to overclock it anymore. That's okay if it clips a little. And then reconnect. Where was it connected? Ah, try that one. There we go. How much? Okay, we're gonna begin 120 a minute. Perfectly okay with me. Let's just sort some stuff here. Alright, so let's go through this hyper tube. I'm trying to think where I need to go. Probably here. I actually don't know where this goes. I can't remember. Is this... Oh, okay. I don't remember. Okay, this is my Caterium I was talking about. Yeah, I really need to do something with it. Because you can see it just kind of starts from up there and then comes all the way across the map. Oh, what a pain in the ass. And I gotta skate all the way over here. Fly with my little zip line. Which is a pretty fun tool. I'm like glad this is in the game. And sometime I'm gonna get around to changing these all to the power towers or whatever. But I just haven't seen it as a priority. Alright. Now to my first base, where I started it all at. This is about a 65-hour save file. So, as you can see, I got a mess of iron coming this way. I got 2 constructors here just making screws, which I do need to rework a lot of this thing in mind, but I don't know if I will. Because I kind of just want to save it, you know, see where it all went so wrong, but still somehow works a little. Okay, and then I have this just spewing out iron ingots into here, making rods and then screws. I remember I was on a huge screw shortage. Now I have fucking too many, so I'm just loading them into here. I didn't think they would drain that fast. It was completely backed up before. Got some more rotors going on here. I got another mess of iron that meets up here and spews out over to there for... Why? Why? I don't know. I don't remember what I was thinking with that. I have no idea. Oh yeah, making some smart plates up here. This is completely full, so I can definitely do the first part of the space elevator. That one's getting there. I've completely backed up reinforced iron plates. However, looks like rotors are slow to come. So maybe let's just, since I have so many of them, I'm just gonna throw them in there and let them keep doing its thing. Let's see what else. What else? You know, I got all the spew of these here. I wish I would have designed it differently from the get-go, but I was playing in VR on the mod, and it was my first time ever playing this game. Now it's just kind of just figuring things out. There's been plenty of upgrades that came back to give it, like, you know, the Mark II miners, the belts, all that good stuff. I've overclocked a lot of these to just get some basic supplies. You know, it's kind of just a mess and tangle of wires every which way. I got shit clipping in the ground. You know, I got this going over the other machinery. You know, and the thing is, like, this did get me by. It helped me. It produces a ton of basic supplies for me still if I'm ever in a pinch and need something. Like, I mean, look at all those freaking screws, man. And then I got this over here making more plates. Then from here... Ah, is that why it's so slow? I forgot to freaking upgrade this. Let's do that real quick. I know it's not my #1 priority right now, but I'm here, so let's do it. At one point, these were only being saved... What is this? These are only being saved in here. But now, I have them going down here making modular frames. Which I believe might be... Let's get in there. I have shit just thrown on the ground. Backed up iron rods, but not plates, unfortunately. That could be part of the issue, however, I don't think... Yeah, some of this stuff I just never got around to fixing. Yeah, okay, so we got upgraded belts there now. I got an overflow of copper sheets and concrete. I don't feel like expanding because it's clipping the ground. I got all this just because I just wanted shit on my inventory one time. Here's my other mess of concrete, wire, cable, feeding into the awesome sink. Let's see. I got this, which stores some of it. Let's just organize that. Maybe top up my wire real quick. Let's top this up too. So I got the room. What's in here? Okay, yeah, just more of this. And this is my this was my second copper production, actually. Or my first. As you can see, it kind of goes all the way over there. That's literally all this makes, and then they merge on one belt. If I believe right, 90% of this line is Mark 1 and Mark 2 belts still, but I have some spots like right here that aren't. Eventually, I'll probably put this in like the depot downloader, but for now, whatever. I don't really care. Just because I have so much other stuff going on. Over here, I have another copper production area. I have this one spewing over here from up there that is making the wire. It's actually not being saved, apparently. I don't know. I think it's just not being produced fast enough. And, you know, the only reason it's like this is because originally I was saving it, and I had so many of them overflowing, so I made lines to do it out. I did intentionally make this a slow belt so I could save it, but apparently it didn't. Yeah, cable. And then, what? Why? Why did I... What? I don't know. I don't know why I did this, but okay. It's fine, it's fine. It's the first attempt, man. And yeah, this is the main area for it. Kind of just producing it at a snail's rate. Doesn't matter too much, I don't really mind, because I got so many other resources. Down here was my first love, the charcoal power plant. My first attempt, I don't think a terrible first attempt, but it did take some revisions. And I'm not gonna lie, I did look up a YouTube video of how to do a little plant like this. I kind of followed it to the T. It might be a little off because I'm not the best at constructing things, but yeah, you can see it's similar to other ones. minus the water buffer. I do kind of wish I would have done that, and then I could overclock all these maybe, especially since the headlift, there's like, I think it's just enough where it doesn't really affect it. It's perfectly off the ground. Got these all leveled. I probably should upgrade the charcoal on these. I do kind of see why I was running out of power so quick. I'll do that soon. I'm not even gonna make a note for myself. I'll do it eventually. I think everything's running fine as far as I know, so maybe just check a few of them out. Well, obviously these ones are because they're getting the brunt of the load here. Looking good. Water's full, coal's fuel. Cool. What did I even just say? Yeah, when I first built this, I kept running out of power over and over because the load of the charcoal was not being split up well. As you can see, it still really isn't. It's like over here is getting most of it. I just have a mess of mergers and splitters, and you can even see like kind of down here and stuff, like this is how I had to fix the issue. But I did this back when I only had Mark II belts, and then I don't think I had a lot of reinforced iron plates, so it's kind of just been the same way for a while until we upgrade it. From here, you know, just got the miners out there doing their mining. Nothing crazy. Over here, I have some hyper tubes. So this cave actually leads from my main base that I showed you guys, or my new main base, I should say. I have this, just an awesome shop that is just being spewed with, was it Sicilia? That's what it's called, right? Silica? Whatever it is. And then I have this just storing quartz crystal and silica until I find the other use for it. Because right now, I don't really have a use. Well, I do, but it requires a lot of rerouting everything and what is it, the AI processor or whatever? Yeah. I have that going on. I think unfortunately the entrance is over here for the hypertube. We're gonna do that because I truly do not feel like going through the cave without anything. So let's go back to this. Going back will probably actually save us a little bit of time here, and then the video should be wrapped up pretty soon. Let's just go through this. Some good old traveling here. I'm sure at some point I'll probably end up reworking these hypertubes to, you know, just have more velocity and stuff. Like I appreciate this speed right here. If I could have like a two-way speed like this somehow, like I could connect the pipes. Those are just things making the cords and all that good stuff. Probably could have made it more efficient, but at the time I just needed some. And like I said, I'm still not fully really utilizing it yet, so. But this is my last like mini kind of base type of deal. Not really a base, but it kind of is. Has a few basic things here. Got my SAM, equipment workshop, all that good stuff. Yeah. You know, right here, we're just making some, what do you call them? Probably empty by now. Yep. Wait. Yeah. Damn. Yeah. I thought this was going to count as the DNA points, but I guess not. Coupons on here. I do have it feeding into the supply still, so that's cool to me. Eventually, you know, I'll probably do something else with this once because I'm sure this has a use later in the game, and I have untapped nodes over there still. I'm still gonna utilize. So, and then yeah, from here it kind of just roots back to my main base. Damn, I suck at this. So, nothing crazy. Just fucking tons of power poles everywhere. Nothing really to see after this except hyper tubes and poles and maybe some spiders, unless I hopefully depopulated them all. I don't know if they stop spawning if you put enough stuff around them, but I think there's like one part of this. Oh, yep, spider somewhere. Just don't know where. But yeah, guys, this pretty much wraps up the MTV Cribs tour of the Satisfactory building. So, peace.